All right, so this is a 1972 Datsun 510 being featured on Bring a Trailer. I've owned the car for right around 6 years now. Bought it as a rolling shell. It's a Texas car. It was bought new at Trophy Datsun. It's a one-owner car too. When I first got a hold of the car, the motor, trans, everything was gone. It was just a rolling shell. We stripped it down. We media blasted the entire underside of the car, epoxy primered the entire underside, and fixed the rust on it. The only rust that was on it was around the drain holes in the floor and a little bit on the rocker. So all that was cut out, treated, and patched in with new metal. After we fixed the rust and the primer, we shot the entire underside with a tinable bed liner and the original 068 yellow. So the entire underside is coated like that. While the car was torn apart, we had all the suspension, everything else media blasted, and 415 painted black. All the hardware has either been replated or replaced. Starting from the back, it has the factory R160 rear end. Rear end was pulled apart, clean inspected, new seals, painted, and new hardware as well. The half shafts were torn apart, rebuilt, and new hardware on that as well. It has a factory drum brakes in the back. All that was torn apart, cleaned, and rebuilt as well. Suspension out back, it features QA1 coilovers from Troy Ermish Racing. So those have been revalved for the 510. It handles pretty well. It's nice and firm, and they're adjustable for the driver's preference. Up front, it's got 280ZX front struts and brakes. Those were torn apart, rebuilt with KYB struts, all new bushings, everything needed up front. It has a Fudo Fab front sway bar. Everything else at the front end remains stock and as is. Drivetrain, the motor came out of a 92 Nissan 240SX. It's a KA24DE 2.4 liter. The story on the car was, the 240 was originally an automatic car. They put a rebuilt 5-speed in it. The kid drove it for a little while and decided he wanted an RB25. So he pulled out the motor, the transmission, ECU, the whole works, and I bought that from him. The motor had been gone through previously. I don't have any paperwork to prove that. But when we tore apart the motor, we tore it down to a long block, kind of cleaned and inspected everything, painted it up, new gaskets, did a kind of a good once over on it, replaced everything that we could, took all the emission stuff off of it, and it basically is all stock minus the intake and the 4-2-1 header. So into that header, it runs a 2.5-inch exhaust all the way out back to a MagnaFlow muffler. So the transmission, like I said before, was a rebuilt 5-speed, although I don't have any paperwork to confirm that. It shifts just as it should be. It's got a short throw shifter in it, new clutch, new slave cylinder. That's got all the gaskets as well. So that's been gone through. The drive shaft was shortened and rebuilt as well. So the entire running gear has been taken apart and either rebuilt, refurbished or replaced. See, for the interior, when we stripped the body or stripped the underside of it and media blasted it, we also blasted the interior. Like we said before, we redid the floor around the drain holes. That was cut out, new patch panels welded in. And then it has now sound deadening on the floor. We have T3 door cards and the rear quarter pieces and then the kick panels in the car. So it's got T3 panels all the way back. It's Datsun competition style seats. It has a Momo steering wheel, a new dash cap. It has a full speed hut gauge cluster set up in the car. Brand new headliner, new sun visors, new front windshield. It's got the rear seat's been removed and it's got a delete panel in the back. I do have the rear seat frame and foam that does go with the car if somebody decided they want to put the seat back in it. Roll bar, everything on the inside has been repainted in the 068 yellow. Let's see. On the electrical side, the car is running off the stock ECU. It does have a Datsun Can-Am fuse box. That's what's running the motor in tandem with the stock ECU. We did upgrade the fuse box and got rid of the glass style fuses, the OEM style ones, and replaced it to a Busman style fuse box. The fuse box has been relocated in the glove box for ease of access and just to keep everything nice and clean. Other than that, I've got about 1,200 miles on the build as it is. It's been an awesome little car. We've taken it out to Z-Con. It's been out on Circuit of the Americas, and we took it to the Midi, and it's been on Road America. So it's a great, fun car. It's been an absolute blast. The wheels are 15x7 Raikkonen mesh. Tires are Yokohama S-Drive. They're 195/50 R15s. Like I said before, everything on the car has 1,200 miles or less. That's excluding the paint job. The paint job is brand new. We've got maybe 10 miles on the paint job, if that. So that was a very recent thing. And along with the paint job, every rubber piece, every gasket, every rubber bump stop, everything has been replaced. So it's watertight now. There's no rattling door panels or rattling windows. All the squeegees have been replaced. It's got new, all the emblems, the door handles, all that's been replaced. That's all new. The exterior of the car, like we said before, it's in the factory 068 yellow. That was original to this car. The bumpers, the wheel centers, the taillight trim, and the grille have all been painted in a graphite color. But that basically sums it up. It's a fun little car. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope the next guy enjoys it as much as I did building it and driving it.